Sometimes, the way we usually store avocados in the refrigerator can actually make them spoil faster. Hi friends, I'm Nancy. Whenever avocado season comes, I tend to buy quite a lot, thinking I can enjoy them throughout the week. But after just a day or two, they start to soften, turn brown, or even develop an odd smell. Even though I've kept them in the fridge, I believe many of us have experienced this at some point. It really feels like a waste to throw away avocados you just bought. After some time, I realized the problem wasn't the avocado, it was the way I was storing them. So today, I'd like to share a few simple methods to help keep your avocados fresh longer, so you can enjoy them whenever you like. Let's get started. The first method to slow down the ripening process of avocados is to use an onion. This is a very familiar ingredient in every kitchen, so almost anyone can easily apply this method at home. You just need to prepare a fresh onion and peel off the dry outer layer. Place it on a cutting board and cut it in half. Then cut each half into a few large pieces. There's no need to chop it too small. Larger pieces actually work better and stay firm longer. Onions naturally release compounds that help slow down the growth of bacteria and reduce oxidation, which is one of the main reasons avocados turn brown and spoil. By keeping the avocado in a closed space together with the onion, you are creating a small environment that helps preserve its freshness. Next, take a clean container with a tight-fitting lid. Place 1 or 2 pieces of onion at the bottom. Then gently place the whole ripe avocado with the skin on beside them. Close the lid tightly and put the container in the refrigerator. With this method, your avocado can stay fresh and firm for about 2 to 3 weeks, much longer than usual. However, there is one small thing to keep in mind. Onions have a strong smell, so the avocado may absorb a slight onion scent. So, you should use this method mainly if you plan to use the avocado in savory dishes, such as salads, sandwiches, or spreads, where its subtle flavor blends perfectly. By the way, I'm also curious, where are you watching from today? I always feel happy seeing how we're all connected from different places around the world. If you want to store avocados for eating fresh or using in smoothies, then this is a method worth trying. It's a simple, old-fashioned tip that I learned from my grandmother, and I still find it very useful today. That is using rice to store avocados. All you need is a container or jar filled with uncooked rice. If you already have rice in your kitchen, you can use it right away without any extra preparation. Gently place the whole avocado with the skin on into the rice. Then lightly bury it so the rice completely surrounds it. That's all you need to do. There's no need to wrap it or do anything complicated. Just keep the container in a dry, well-ventilated place. The rice helps absorb excess moisture around the avocado, creating a dry environment that slows down the ripening process. At the same time, it helps limit the avocado's exposure to air, so it won't soften too quickly. This method is simple and convenient. There's no unpleasant smell, no special ingredients needed, and anyone can do it. It's especially helpful if you have several avocados and don't plan to use them all at once. And if your avocados are not fully ripe yet, this method can also help them ripen more evenly and steadily. Now let's talk about a situation that happens quite often. Sometimes you only use half an avocado, and the other half ends up sitting in the refrigerator, gradually turning brown before you get a chance to use it. I've experienced this many times, especially when I only need a small amount for a meal. A simple way to handle this is by using a little bit of oil. Take the unused half of the avocado and gently spread a thin layer of oil over the surface. that is exposed to the air. You can use olive oil or any mild cooking oil you already have at home. This thin layer of oil helps create a barrier between the avocado and the air. So, this method slows down oxidation and helps the avocado keep its fresh color and smooth texture for a longer time. After that, place the avocado in an airtight container or wrap it gently. Then store it in the refrigerator. What I really like about this method is how practical it is. You don't need anything special, and it works very well for everyday use. The next time you take it out, you'll see that it still looks fresher and is ready to use. The stored avocado can still be used in many different dishes, like avocado smoothies, fresh salads, spread on toast, or even made into a creamy dessert. It also pairs well with savory dishes. If you have your own way of storing avocados or any small tips that work well, feel free to share them in the comments. I truly enjoy reading everyone's experiences and learning from people in different places. One simple but effective tip to keep avocados from turning brown too quickly is soaking them in water. First, choose a ripe avocado that still holds its shape. Cut the avocado in half lengthwise and remove the pit. Place the avocado into a clean glass jar or a food-safe container. At first, when I heard my mother talk about this method, I was a bit doubtful and thought that water might make the avocado spoil. But to my surprise, after 2 days, when I took it out, the avocado still kept its beautiful yellow color. Since then, I've often used this method to store avocados, especially when I only need half for a meal. Then pour in enough clean water to fully cover the avocado. Make sure the avocado is completely submerged. The water acts as a barrier, preventing air from coming into contact with the surface of the avocado. Since exposure to air is what causes browning, this method helps slow down that process and keeps the avocado fresh. Finally, close the lid tightly and place the container in the refrigerator. With this method, your avocado can stay green, smooth, and usable for a few days. If you change the water daily, it can last a bit longer. When you're ready to use it, simply pour out the water and gently pat the avocado dry. It will still have a soft, smooth texture, ready for your meal. To wrap up today's video, I'd like to share something especially helpful if you want to store avocados for a longer time. That is freezing. First, choose avocados that are ripe but not too soft. Cut the avocado in half lengthwise and gently twist to separate the halves. Remove the pit, then carefully peel off the skin using your hands or the tip of a knife. Try to keep the flesh as intact as possible. Next, cut the avocado into bite-sized pieces. Depending on how you plan to use them later, you can leave them in chunks or slice them smaller. Place the cut avocado into a zip-top bag or an airtight container. Before sealing, press out as much air as possible. This step helps slow down oxidation and prevents the avocado from absorbing unwanted odors in the freezer. Frozen avocado works especially well in smoothies, spread on toast, or even mixed into dishes that need a soft, creamy texture. You can also use frozen avocado in salads or as a topping for savory meals. Once the bag is sealed, place it in the freezer. This method allows you to store avocados for a longer time while still keeping their creamy texture and natural flavor. When you're ready to use them, simply take out the amount you need and let it thaw at room temperature for a short time. You don't have to worry about avocados going bad too quickly. Instead, you can always have them ready whenever you need, making your kitchen routine easier and reducing waste. A few small changes in how you store them can make a big difference and help you avoid unnecessary waste. Try the method that fits your routine best and take it one step at a time. I hope these tips make your kitchen a little easier and more enjoyable, and help you get the most out of every avocado you bring home.